Okay, this is our last hive today. This is a Langstroth hive. Again, everything installed April 18th, 3 weeks old today. This hive is pretty good. Last week, just like with the other Langstroth hive over here, I saw my queen in kind of some weird spots. We even moved her back to the middle, and before I was done with the inspection, she was already back where she wanted to be. So I'm hoping that just like the other hive, it's laid all the way out, and the goal for today is we're going to inspect them, and then I've got a second box, and we're going to weigh them and get an initial weight, and then just like every other one of these, we're going to move one frame of brood up. You can see we've got a pretty good amount of bees. These girls are pretty chill. At least so far, they haven't been super aggressive. They're not. All of my Langstroth hives seem to have a little bit more oomph, if you will. Actually, I'm going to weigh these guys first, since I seem to do this all in a screwy method. Okay. And getting a weight just allows us to understand kind of where we're at and how we're growing. 17, wow. So these girls are the heaviest so far. You win, girls. 16.1. So that's 32, 33, a little over 33 pounds, including the box. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Got a good frame hanger on there. We're just going to give them a little bit of smoke. I'm trying to smoke them out, just kind of get them to go down a little bit so I can get in here and start checking. And then, like I said, we're going to move one frame of brood up into here, and we'll move one empty frame from up there down. And that'll hopefully draw them up into that box. This is a frame of capped honey. I gave them this frame, but it does look like they have backfilled it with nectar. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got some glistening nectar inside of there. That's all them. So we've got something giving nectar out here, because all of my hives so far have had some, and I've given these girls no sugar. So they've had no feed at all. This thing is, whew, it is wall-to-wall pollen with capped honey on the edges. We got capped honey on the top here, and again, pollen galore. So this one will stay down here with them. I've only seen one of my queens today. I got some drone brood down here that looks like I just ripped a little bit of it apart, actually. So this is a perfect frame, capped brood, wall to wall, a little bit of honey on the edges, some pollen. Same up here, and there's some drone brood on the bottom, you can see. But I mean, wall to wall pollen or capped brood, and then you can see on the very bottom some girls got some big old pollen pants on there. Sure, the pollen pants are so big she can hardly walk. They're pulling pollen in here like crazy. And the other reason I'm adding a second deep to these is that we're finally to the point where the temperatures at night are warm enough that they can sustain it. They can keep it warm. So perfect frame honey, wall to wall, cap brood. Got a lot of babies getting ready to pop out of here, so that's why we're adding our second deep. This will probably be the frame I move up. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to the outside here. All my queens have been pretty shy today. I only managed to see one, but again, I'm not needing to see the queens. This is really well laid out, wall to wall, cap brood, a little bit of eggs and larvae. I got some laying down 2 to 3 day old eggs over here. And because I don't have to find my queen, I don't have to spend as long inspecting here as I would if I was worried about a queen issue or needing to capture my queen. Oh, baby, I didn't mean to get you. This is the difference between backyard beekeeping and commercial beekeeping is when you kill one, you feel horrible. I see the commercial beekeepers just slamming boxes around and you ain't got time to mess around. This is laid out wall to wall. Some of it's already capped. This backside is all pollen with some brood in the middle of it. Whew, Lord have mercy, that's a lot of pollen. So I'm glad I'm giving them some space starting today. This frame here is pollen, but interesting. It almost looks like she laid eggs on top of the pollen. A couple of them. What are you doing, Mama? There are definitely some eggs on top of a few of those pollen bits. Not a ton, but got some sleeping bees. So I don't know if you can see on the very bottom, there's a bee with its head in the cell and butt sticking out. That little girl's taking a nap. Bees do sleep. I think they sleep something like 4 hours a day. So not a ton, but they do sleep. But goodness, I am glad I'm adding this. Oh, here's my queen. She's on the back side of this frame here. She is just looking for spots to lay. So we're going to give her some. Oh, baby. There's a lot of room for you here in the middle. Trying not to do this, but I am going to turn this one around. Now, if I were to smash her, you would actually hear this hive amp up. You would hear them get really, really hot. It's immediate. If you kill that queen pheromone, they get jazzed pretty quick. I haven't had to cull a queen yet. Feel pretty good about that, but I also have not had one single season, not one season, where I've managed to not lose a queen. I've had swarms. I've had all kinds of action. So hopefully she'll come back over there pretty quick. I'm going to pull her over there. I think that's the only one I'm going to do. I think I'm going to just pull that one up. Man, I'll tell you what, this hive is chill. I love it. So I'm going to pull these frames together here. All of my hives have drones coming, which means mating season is around the corner. And that means I am preventing swarming by adding space up here and bringing them up. So I saw 2 of 6 queens, but I saw every single hive had queen activity. This hive was the heaviest of the Langstroth ones. I can't weigh the Lands ones. Just candidly, they're just impossible. I probably could find a way, but I'm not gonna. But man, my Lands hives are they're laying out. That is for sure. This hive has resources in here, so they should want to get up here pretty quickly. And with the amount of cat brood getting ready to hatch, or getting ready to emerge, this is a good time to add this box. And in fact, next week, I will probably go through the process of adding a super, because once all that brood emerges, that's about 6,000 eggs on each side. 6, 12, 18, 24,000 bees. 6, 12, 18, 24,000 bees, plus she's got other ones laid out. I'm going to want to have those supers on here because none of them are drawn out. And I don't have any drawn comb for my supers at all. And so I will want to get them on before the nectar flow really starts in earnest, so that they can finish drawing these out with the honey that they have, the food sources that they have. And then ideally, they will really quickly draw out my supers. And then this year we'll get some honey harvest out of them, hopefully. It'd be nice to get, 30, 40 pounds of honey out of all these. And that's more than I need personally. So that is the inspection this week. There you go.